Good evening. My name is Patty Erjavik, and I'm the president here at Pueblo Community College, and it is my absolute pleasure to be able to welcome you here this evening onto the campus of PCC, and to be able to provide the venue for you to come and learn from our candidates that are going to be speaking with you this evening. So you're really here. The only thing standing between you getting all the information is me and Mr. Henson. So I'm going to move out of the way and introduce Steve Henson, who is going to be the moderator for this evening's program. And again, I'm pleased to see so many of you take advantage of the opportunity to come here and get some informed information about our political candidates. So thank you, and please help me welcome Steve Henson from the Pueblo Chieftain.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening. It's nice to have you here. We have a great forums and two great forums scheduled this evening, and this one's for the Office of District Attorney. I'd like to go over the ground rules real quickly. Each candidate will have 4 minutes to introduce themselves and talk about why they are seeking this office, and then we'll have a number of questions posed to them, and they'll be able to respond to that. Then there'll be a brief rebuttal period on each question. We've prepared the questions. We aren't taking questions from the audience. We had a really couple of terrible experiences with that years ago, in which, as you could imagine, people get really excited about their candidates, and so there's a little bit of ambushing going on, and so we try to prevent that. It isn't really a debate, it's a forum. It's an opportunity for the two candidates to tell you what they think and why you should vote for them. We're not going to hold up anybody's hand at the end of it or anything like that. So that's part of the reasoning for the questioning. And at the end, they'll have a couple of minutes each to wrap up their comments. Obviously, it's a large crowd. I was assumed with supporters for both candidates, and we encourage you to hoop and holler for your candidate and support them. That's fine. We would ask that you not hiss, boo, holler, expectorate, do all sorts of things when the opponent is speaking. Tonight we have two candidates who have served our community for many, many years, served our community very well, and they obviously deserve the respect that we are going to give them. And if you don't, we'll haul you out. So it's as simple as that. So Jeff won the coin flip this evening, and so he elected to close the forum tonight. And so the first opening remarks will be from Bill Tebow. Bill?
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me tonight. Like most Puebloans, I'm proud of my family. I grew up in the Belmont area, attended elementary school and junior high. I was fondly remembering today when I go over the 4th Street Bridge and smell that great baking from Rainbow Bakery, and also playing in the Fountain Creek. Now we call it Fountain Creek. It was called Fountain River then. I went away to high school, to the Abbey School in Canyon City. It's a boys' boarding school run by the Benedictine monks, and the first thing I learned was there's a girls' school across the city. And the nuns there pegged my wife as being a mother superior, but it turned out she was a superior mother instead. We have 15 wonderful children, 29 grandchildren. We struggled through college and law school, came back to Pueblo by choice. I began working with the district attorney's office, prosecuting cases in the county court, juvenile court, some grand jury work. I left after a year and went into private practice. There, I handled all kinds of matters, criminal, civil. In fact, I was the prosecutor for the Department of Social Services for child abuse cases. I ran for the State House and the State Senate, was fortunate to be elected, served 9 years in the Senate, 7 in the House, 16 years total. 2 years in the Senate, I was majority leader. And then I decided to run for district attorney. And my vision for the office then is the same as it is today. It is a vision to seek the truth and for justice to be done, not merely to convict. I work hard on a daily basis to create a very safe community with my Smart Justice program. It is a program built upon prevention, stopping crime, prosecution, making sure that no one is above or beneath the law, and protection, making sure that we uphold people's rights, safety, and trust. Those are promises I made. Those are promises I kept. I operate from the tradition of an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. education, economic development, restorative justice, gang prevention. These things inoculate against crime, and they protect families. Drug, mental health, and veterans treatment courts save lives. On my watch, more than 50 defendants have been convicted of murder, and they're on their way in terms of sentencing to life imprisonment without parole. I work with local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies to dismantle and prosecute drug trafficking and gangs in Pueblo County. I fight to keep our homes, savings, and property safe by successfully prosecuting identity theft rings, mortgage and security fraud cases, and the like. I work to protect our health and our families. I successfully fought Colorado Springs to protect our water from contamination. I work to reduce domestic violence in our community each year. And each year, my staff and I provide support to 4,000 crime victims. You know, our nation was invented in the name of progress, betterment of self and society, and justice. Tonight, I'm asking for your support and vote so that as the people's attorney, I can continue to fight for a safe and promising Pueblo community. Thank you.
Okay, we'll now have opening remarks from Jeff Chostner. Jeff?
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I want to speak to you tonight of a vision for a safer community, safer neighborhoods, and equal justice. My campaign has been animated by a desire to bring this community together and have us all live in a less hostile, less violent community. To get there, there have to be changes made in the district attorney's office, I believe. And that starts with leadership, and it starts with being connected to this community, actively involved in this community. When it comes to leadership, I want to serve and help guide that office so that the DA's office is actively engaged in protecting the victims of our community, the victims of rape, of domestic violence, of home invasions, of drunk drivers, of financial fraud and murders. The victims of these crimes are who the district attorney is elected to represent and to advocate for. Our party, the Democratic Party, has always advocated for the dispossessed, the downtrodden, the victims of society. I believe we can do better than what we have been doing, and frankly, so do our victims. Leading the fight against crime and defending the defenseless. That's the job of the district attorney. That's what I want to do to serve my hometown again. Since 2005, overall crime is up 21%. Rapes are up 21.5%. Aggravated assaults are up 31%. The Wall Street Journal has named Pueblo to the top 10 cities where crime is soaring. We're number 9 on the Wall Street list of how many of cities that are increasing in crime. Leadership means being involved with your staff, letting them know that you know what a tough job it is that they do, and being willing to go into the trenches with them and fight the good fight. I was a trial lawyer in the Air Force for 22 years, and I prosecuted or defended over 200 criminal cases. After I left the Air Force, I returned here to my hometown of Pueblo and was the litigating attorney in my law firm. I know the courtroom. I will be in the courtroom, letting my colleagues in the office know that I will do what they do, and more importantly, letting the public know that I care about them enough to carry the fight against crime into the courtroom. The current administration and the current DA does not do that. There are a variety of changes that I believe can be made to the office, and I'm sure we'll talk about that in the format. But one is, I believe, fewer plea bargains. Currently, depending on the category of cases, either 98 to 99% of all cases are plea bargained. I believe in the creation of drug courts and veterans courts for those special offenses and for special offenders. I believe in reestablishing the partnership with law enforcement because there is a lack of trust and confidence between this DA's office and the law enforcement folks, and that makes fighting crime less efficient. I want to restore and improve contact with social agencies to protect our women and children, and all you have to do is ask them to see how well protected they believe they are. You don't have to hear it from me. I want to rebuild the trust between the DA's office and the greater community. Our population is up since 2005. Crime is up, but the prosecution rate is down. We're not doing our job in protecting this community, and I believe you know that to be the case. I want to assure the community that they're safe in their homes at night, that they can live in neighborhoods with safety and a surety that the DA's office is there for them. And they need an effective advocate to be able to do that, to connect with the social agencies and law enforcement so that crime is effectively combated. We all deserve a safe community. I'm a hometown Pueblo boy, and you know that as well. And I've been here, and I've come back voluntarily after 25 years in the military. I came back here, and I want to protect this town as well. This community and this party knows me. This is the 4th time I've asked for your vote since 2003. You know my loyalty to our laboring friends. You know my commitment to the health department and the social services. You know my commitment to the legal community and the judicial building. You know my commitment to the law enforcement agencies with the new operations center. And you know my commitment to Fountain Creek and the environment. When I commit to a project or an organization, I deliver. And I will deliver to you a safer community because we can all do better. And I earnestly and humbly ask for your support in this election.
Okay, we'll now begin the question and answer portion of the program, and we'll continue in the same order. So, Bill, you'll answer the first question. Okay. One of the key themes so far in this campaign has been the management, the leadership in the district attorney's office. What is your comment on that issue?
Well, I'm not quite sure exactly that I agree with that it's a key theme of the campaign. I know that there have been some allegations made with respect to the management of the office. I think some of those allegations are misinformation by my opponent. I think they are made up of misinformation and half-truths and insinuations that don't necessarily hold water. I might point out that last September, when he decided to run for this office, he sent me an email on a county computer that said he would run a very positive campaign, not a negative one. And I think it's been proved to be otherwise. Not knowing exactly what those allegations are, I will tell you that around September of last year, we were dealing with a recent death of our assistant district attorney, and I was putting together the staff realignment, which I do periodically. And Tony Marzavas was appointed our assistant district attorney toward the end of the year. And from day one, my philosophy in that office has been very clear. It's a change of direction from the old tough on crime attitude, which I don't think works. And I might add that the American Bar Association doesn't think it works either, because in 2004, they wrote an article that said tough on crime efforts don't work. And so I changed the direction and philosophy of the office basically to work on the Smart Justice program that I mentioned in my opening statements. One of the things that I think is important for you to understand is that my opponent has a record relative to management as well, and I think that needs to be investigated and explored in this particular forum and during the campaign. I've used my experience in the trial of criminal cases and civil cases to manage cases. I surround myself, I think, with very qualified experts in their field, and I think for the most part, those people are doing a tremendous job, and I compliment them for the job they're doing, and I think they serve the community well.
Okay. Jeff?
This campaign has been focused on the facts. Obviously, in any primary campaign, it's an implicit criticism of the person you're running against. But I have focused on the facts here, and let me give you some that concern